Who's going to rescue the rescuer? Whose hand is trapped in a playset? Who's lost their Dieselworks legs? Well, I'm going to do a little video about some of the little issues that I've been having with some sets. First off, we're going to talk about these green legs that I've found on the Dieselworks set. Well, here are those green legs, and they get attached to the ramp going up to the spinning part. And you can see they're starting to get a little bit of damage from being taken on and off the set because they're not attached. And when I start to see this happening to plastic, it's not long before sometimes the plastic can break. And there's the underside and a bit of a closer view, and you can see how it's gone white from being stressed. Part of the complaint I had about the set was these legs don't actually have a home, and as some YouTubers have pointed out to me, there's a little spot here where you can go and put your legs in. But I don't like that for this reason. Well, as you know, you might take this out, and kids are pretty rough with stuff, and it doesn't take much at all to lose both legs. And I've certainly had a good look in the instructions to find out if it tells you where the legs are meant to be stored. Well, let's have a look at that picture there. This is you unpacking this playset. Where are the legs? All of a sudden we see them. They magically appear from nowhere. Where do these legs come from? Nowhere on this instruction sheet do you ever see the legs put in their stowage area. And I've made this point to a number of people online. I don't like to argue, but I like to stick to the absolute facts. Well, I can report to you this playset has been very popular with my son. He loves to put Diesel 10 up here, and my biggest fear is that one day we're going to lose his legs because they're not part of the set, and really it renders the whole fun part of the spinning section useless. But there's one thing that I think I can do which will keep this playset all in one piece, and it's quite simple to do. Very important title, you need your parents or carers' help to do this modification. What I'm going to do is glue both of these legs to the set so they become a permanent fixture. Well, here we are, the set's inverted. We're looking at underneath the track and where the girder comes up and clips on. If I just unclip this, there's just two spots where it goes plastic to plastic, and we're going to put a bit of hot melt glue there to keep them on permanently. One thing about hot melt glue is it's hot, and it's something that only your parents should be playing with. There's a bit of gloopy glue going on there, but I quite like that. That's going to help hold it on even better. And let that cool off. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey Leo, that set's not going to close up anymore. But we're in for a little bit of a surprise. And before I went in and decided to hot melt glue, I experimented with blue tack to see if all this would work. And for a while there, the legs were held on with this blue tack. Looks sort of grey these days. Yeah, hot melt glue, it's pretty good stuff. But it's hot, so you've got to be very careful with it. There. I'll come in and I'll do one side of the tall leg as well. Bit of a gap there, so I need to put a fair bit of glue in there. Done. Many people get burnt with hot melt glue because they fail to understand when it has actually cooled off. What you're waiting for is it to change back to the colour of the stick before it was put through the hot melt glue gun. Okay, now that glue is dry and that leg is on there really well. That's not coming off. There they are, both legs glued on with hot melt glue, and now it's time to fold all this up. Now to zoom all this stuff away. And what I found is it all sort of goes back together. Well, there you have it, the Dieselworks, it's all packed up, and yes, the legs are on the track. Hot melt glued on, they're on there for good, and I reckon it's a pretty good way to solve the problem of losing your legs. You recall when I had a look at this absolutely amazing playset called Rock Quarry Run. In this playset, there were two ways your trains could run: down through a massive spiral track through the mine, or a death-defying plunge down to a very tight bend and then run out through the bottom of the mine. One recurring problem I'm having with this set is Flynn gets trapped inside, and he's very difficult to get out. There he is, I can just see his face there, And my son will spend a lot of time putting his hand up there trying to bring him out, but of course he's way too big. And my fat fingers fill up that gap real fast, and the problem is the ladder on him extends and it literally traps him in there. It becomes very difficult to bring him out. There he is poking his face out, but because the ladder's up, he's completely trapped in there. And my little 2-year-old will be frustrated for hours when this happens. And what I sometimes see him doing is putting his whole hand and arm down this hole here, trying to pull Flynn out. And what you've got to do is you've got to go and check to see if there's any sharpies on this plastic. This set is actually pretty good, but it reminds me of a time when he had his hand caught in another playset. Let's have a little look at that footage right now. So he's got his hand caught in the train shed here, in the Totally Tidmouth set. Oh my goodness. What are we going to do? Oh, no, don't pull. Take it. No, don't pull. What happened here is my son had a small toy in his hand inside that shed, and he had his hand around it, and while he had his hand around it, he couldn't remove his hand from the shed. It took around 5 minutes to release his hand from this toy, and it's a reminder to me, when toys are slated for 3 years and up, I dare say there's a very good reason for that. If you've got multiple kids, try stopping a 2-year-old from playing with all the other toys. The only way I've managed to get Flynn out of this set is I've got to turn the set upside down, put the fingers in there, get him, come on, you red rascal, and just get him in a position that he can, God, this is punishment, I tell you. He's totally upside down, and he's about to come out, I think. Come on, Flynn! He's out. I've saved you, you red rascal. The problem with Flynn is the ladder will extend, and then he's really trapped. He can't get out of that mine. Sure, it's nice to have these great big, larger take-and-play models, but unfortunately for Rock Quarry Run, all it causes is a nightmare. Don't get me wrong, Rock Quarry Run is a fantastic playset, but it's just no place for Flynn. That's a pretty good solution, and one way, do a take two. A little bit of transportation. The problem is, when he goes down, then he's really trapped. It just becomes far too big for being down in the coal. Oh. Try and get that ladder